शिव सेना बाल ठाकरे का सिपाही देहाती प्रधान। अज तो मैं RD पुरी साहब नूं एक भरोसा दवाना जिहड़ा उन्होंने मेरे ते भार पाया है, जिहड़ा मैनूं जिम्मेवारी दित्ती है, मैं पूरे अपने तन मन धन दे नाल अपनी जान भी वारन वास्ते तैयार हाँ। अते शिव सेना बाल ठाकरे दी जिथे भी मेरी शिव सेना बाल ठाकरे नूं जिथे भी मेरी लोड़ पऊगी, चाहे वह अंतवाद के खिलाफ होवे, चाहे वह किसी के भी खिलाफ होवे, असी एक अंतवाद के खिलाफ जिहड़ी लड़ाई छेड़ी हुई है, जिद्दां कि राजोवान नूं फांसी का यह ऐलान किया होया सीगा, इन्हां ने फिर फांसी रोकी हुई है। असीं अज उन्हां नूं कहना चाहते हैं, दसना चाहते हैं, ये अंतवाद का कोई धर्म नहीं है, अंतवाद का कोई धर्म नहीं है। हिंदुस्तान दे विच रहने वाला हर एक इंसान एक हिंदू आ, कोई किसी जात और पात ना कोई संबंध नहीं है। चाहे मैं सिख हाँ, लेकिन वो अंतवादा ने कभी किसी सिख नूं नहीं देखा, कभी हिंदू नूं नहीं देखा, कभी मुसलमान नूं नहीं देखा, ईसाई नूं नहीं देखा। उन्होंने गोलियां चलाइया, वो परिवारां नूं पुछ के देखो अंतवाद की हुंदा है। बादल सरकार नूं की पता, वो घर बैठे ही अपने फैसले करते रहंदे ने। इसलिए अही एक अपने सारी फौज के समेत मैं एक वादा करदा RD पुरी साहब नूं कि जिथे भी साडी ड्यूटी लगाणगे अही जी जान लगा के उत्थे नाल चलांगे। जयकारा वीर बजरंगे।
वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह। अज का ये जो प्रोग्राम सिख जथेबंदियां ने बनाया है, जो कि डेरा ब्यास जिन्हों राधा स्वामी भी कहते, पर नहीं, राधा स्वामी नहीं, गधा हरामी आओ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਡੇਰੇ ਦੀ ਬੁਨਿਆਦ ਝੂਠ ਤੇ ਫਰੇਬ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਰੱਖੀ ਹੈ। ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਗੁਰਮੁਖੋ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਡੇਰਾ ਉਸਾਰਿਆਗਾ, ਇੱਥੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ। ਧੰਨ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸਨ। ਸਾਡੀ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਅਣਗਹਿਲੀ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਕਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ। ਵੜੈਚ ਨਗਰ ਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਲੀਲ ਕੀਤਾ। ਸਰਕਾਰ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਸਨ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਗਧਾ ਹਰਾਮੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵੀ ਰੋਕਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ, ਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਨਵੀਂ ਭਾਜੀ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਿਰ ਚਾੜੀ ਆ। ਇਹਦਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਤੇ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ। ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸੰਤ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ਉਹ ਪਰਉਪਕਾਰੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ना कि प्रजा दे लोकां नूं दुखी तंग ते परेशान करदे आ। अपनी प्रॉपर्टी ना तां गुरु ने कदे बनाई आ ते ना कदे संत ने बनाई आ। इहदा संत दा इतिहास पिछोकड़ की आ। ये मालवे दी धरती दा रहण वाला शराबी भी सी ते कबाबी भी सी ते रंडीबाजी भी करदा हुंदा सी। इस गधा हरामी गुरु दा पिछोकड़ इतिहास आ। जेकर इसे तरह गुरमुखो चलदा रहा, धड़ातार इन्हां दे डेरे बनते गए, एक दिन इहो जिहा आवेगा सिख दा नामो निशान, जिस तरह मुगलिया बादशाह ने मकाउण दा यतन कीता ते इसे तरह ये राधा स्वामी मत वाले भी तुले आ।
जदों कोई गुरु नानक साहब जी दे घर दे नाल वधीकी करदा है, जिहदा गुरु नानक साहब जी दे घर नाल प्यार आ, वो किसी दे सद्दे ते नहीं आउंदा, बिना सद्दे आ जांदा है। जिस तरह बड़ियां वड्डियां संप्रदावां जथेबंदियां ने, उन्हां दा एक भी नुमाइंदा अजे तक देखण तक नहीं आया कि घटना कित्थे होई ते इहदा कारण की आ। एक नुमाइंदा जरूर आया है जिहड़ा अपने आप नूं दावा करदा कि मैं दमदमी टकसाल दा मुखी हां। गुरमुखो मैं तो कदे उहदा नाम नहीं लिया। नाम मर्दां दे ते गुरु के सिखां दे हुंदे आ, जिन्हां दा जीवन घटिया होवे, पंथक सोच तो हमेशा वास्ते उल्ट चलदे होण, सरकार दे नाल संबंध होवे, पंथ दे नाल हर टाइम ते हर तरह की गदारी करना, पंथ तो जिहड़े उल्ट लोग चलते उन्हां दी हमायत करना, उन्हां बंदियां दा नां कदे इतिहास विच ना आया ते ना आउणा ते ना आवेगा। मर्दां दे गुरमुखो नाम हुंदे आ। मेरे कहण तो मुराद कि तुमा 4-5 ਘੰਟੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਗਧਾ ਹਰਾਮੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਡੇਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਇਆ। ਡੇਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਗੁਪਤ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ। ਇਸ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਰਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਈ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਢਾਇਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਡੇਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਗੁਪਤ ਮੀਟਿੰਗਾਂ ਕਰੀਏ ਤੇ ਇਦੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ਰਮ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਵੇਗੀ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। In this video we will discuss the current happenings with the Radhaswami Dera head, the cultist, pedophile, homosexual dog coming to the Akal Takht and being treated as a guru or even a god by the so-called protectors and the leaders of the Sikh Nation. We will discuss the various aspects of his visit, the politics behind it, the politics surrounding it, and the politics after it. And what is this leading to? What is the master plan behind this entire game? One thing we must understand with the politics in that region, what we are being told is that by our own people, that the Radhaswamis have come into the fold, and people are talking nonsense about how it's going to affect the vote bank and yada 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 and all that nonsense. First thing we must understand, Congress, Punjab Pradesh Congress or Indian Congress, BJP, Shiromani Akali Dal Badal and Mandal, these political parties are meaningless. They are part of a family-run scam which has been running in that region for X amount of period since the election became open to them. These people, either be it Badal, Prakash Badal, Sukhbir Badal, Captain Amninder, Simranjit Singh Maan, and who whatsoever, and all of this nonsense, they are all interrelated. These are actors. These are actors playing their role within a drama run by the major families in Punjab. And this entire system is run through India, and the entire system goes through its hierarchy. So one thing we must understand, if there is this idea which they are floating around, it is going to help the Sikh vote, this is going to do this, that, the other, it is going to not change any political system within that region. All it is the families are rearranging their strategy, and they are looking towards a more centralized, stronger form of control from one they used to have before. By making Akali Dal or Prakash Badal's party win twice, what they have done is, instead of having their minions in all these different pots, they have put them in one strong pot so they can oppress the people quicker, more efficiently, and drain them of their resources more brutally. And coming back to the Radhaswami issue and this pedophile homosexual going to the Akal Takht, one thing we must understand, he is a cult leader who has a very colorful history, just to say the least. He spent his youth in Europe, and that is a very colorful youth time he had. His life has been, his entire youth was surrounded by drugs, rock and roll, and homosexual affairs. These are facts. These are not fantasies made up by anybody. These are facts. Mr. Dhillon was nothing more than a European-born alkie, a druggie, and a confused sexual young man. Now the idea of him becoming the leader of the cult, this was engineered from when the families needed a plan B, because they already control the Sikh institutions. There's no hidden conspiracy there. It's all open. They run the SGPC, they run the Akal Takht, they run the Sant Samaj, they run the entire system itself. It is headed by their own family members. They run the political parties. The whole thing is run by them. But the reason for them having the Radhaswami Dera was to have a strong plan B, just in case they lose somehow, some way, control of Sikhism. Because there is always that fear that the independent aspect of Sikhism and the capability of Sikhs waking up and becoming control of their own destiny. And the Radhaswami is very cleverly designed cult. Now we have all of this smoke and mirrors, hidden, going into a dark room and receiving naam, or being sexually abusing young kids. As we have seen not only in this, but in many other cults and many other centralized religious structures. One of the biggest would be the Catholic Church, where we've seen open, and the system replicates itself. It doesn't mean which culture, which language, which country. The system is always same. We have a centralized faith, a centralized cult with a singular leader, which uses manipulation and abuse of children sexually to control the masses. And Radhaswami is no different. It is designed exactly as a copy of the system of the Catholic Church, nothing more. With having so much political power by these families, now what the families are doing, because Sikhism, they are in control of Sikhism, but there is a huge independent element within Sikhism, because Guru Nanak's main idea, which he preached, was to have a self-sufficient person. A self-sufficient person who does not rely on the government, who doesn't rely on any institution. He is a free person to live his own life and to make his own decisions. Now this is one of the biggest problems the cultists, these families, these controllers have with Sikh faith. They want a controlled vegetable which they can put into any dish and make it taste as they want it to taste, if you get the idea. Now, taking a self-sufficient person and turning him into a vegetable is a long-term process, and this is part of that process. Firstly, what they have done, they have taken this homosexual pedophile junkie from Europe, turned him into a leader of a pedophile cult, and now they're forcing him onto the Sikhs and declaring him, you can call him a pope or the supreme leader of Sikhism, or there is a word in that region, the Guru of Sikhism, the new Guru of Sikhism. And these so-called protectors of the Sikh faith, these Simranjit Singh Maans, these fat, obese preachers we have, these Baljit Daduas, people. Why are all of these preachers, these so-called preachers, obese? Why can't they even stand on their own 2 feet? That in itself tells you the credibility of these people. You know, if you have a beast person trying to get a logic through, what can he really stand for? Seriously, these are overfed, corrupted individuals which are not to be trusted by any means. Their so-called message, their so-called persona was exposed. He did not just come in the Akal Takht and do Matha Tek. No, it was much more sinister than that. There was a chanani, there was a piece of people holding a piece of cloth. To people it might be seen as, oh, just a simple piece of cloth. No, it is much more than that. This is a older, you can call it an older ritual which goes on. When a head of a guru, a living guru of a Hindu cult, or would you, whatever in that region you like to call, they have this chanani on their head, so to speak. And their so-called vegetable chill is holding it out. And that's what that is exactly. So a person claiming to be Sikh, coming into the Akal Takht as a guru, and these so-called protectors of our faith, have basically bent over, in not many words, literally bend over, and are licking his feet and worshipping this pedophile homosexual within the Akal Takht. And we are told, now they're telling the Sangat, oh, we should all accept this. So what if he's a pedophile? They have this dark room in their little deras all around the world where they abuse little kids and give them naam. And seeing Mr. Dhillon's history, I think he would be enjoying himself giving naam to his male followers in particular. And this is something we must understood. Now, a Sikh is an independent person. We have Sant Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale, people who have given up their life for the sanctity of the idea of the Akal Takht. And now we have these people, these obese preachers claiming to be saints. You know, Mr. Duma, Mr. Dadua, this Maan. Now, the concept of Khalistan is based on the principle of Guru Nanak of a self-sufficient person, not a vegetable slave who follows the system and the state. The concept of the Khalistan is about rebelling against the system and the state, and about self-sufficiency. Now, this Maan is just a family prop. He is a patsy. He is a example. If there was a definition of a patsy, you would write Simranjit Singh Maan's name right next to it, because this guy has been a patsy of the families to destroy the Khalistani movement from day one. He fights elections in the name of Khalistan, but he sang, by fighting those elections, he has to agree with the Constitution of India, which does not recognize Sikhism. That in itself is a contradiction. And then we have these old so-called leaders and this charade. And now this idea, where is this going? Now, firstly, these controllers, people who run our society, they like to play all sides of any debate, any conflict. Now, this idea is pretty clear that this is going in one direction and one direction only. Centralization of Sikhism entirely, where Radhaswamis and this pedophile homo takes over and is being and will be declared either a pope or the guru, whichever one you like, of Sikhism. You know, we can pretend he is not, but him coming to Akal Takht as a guru in itself is installing him as the guru of entire Sikh Panth, and nobody speaking out against it. That's what I want to get to next. Nobody speaking out against it. These so-called, taksals, these so-called Pakhand Kirtani Jathe, They brag about, they gather money, they steal money from people every day, every single day, how they've been, standing up for the Panth. Where the hell were they? They're sitting in all these Western countries. They couldn't even speak out of their mouth, Not even a single word against this, this calculated attack. And it's not that they don't know. Oh, they are fully aware of what's happening. Now, where is this going? For every action, or for one side of the coin, the controllers design the second side of the coin. And that's where Pakhand Kirtani Jatha or Akhand Kirtani Jatha will fit into this. Now, Akhand Kirtani Jatha is going to play a part of the opposition for the controllers to this Radhaswami. They're going to have this dodgy, patsy position like Mandal trying to pretend to be a Khalistani. Pakhand Kirtani Jatha is going to pretend to be anti-Radhaswamis, but in reality, there's no difference between them and the Radhaswamis. The reason they can't be against Radhaswamis, a simple point. Head of the Akhand Kirtani Jatha is also the head of Dharam Prachar Committee of the SJPC. If he wants to stop the Radhaswami, this preaching arm of Sikhism wants to stop this attack on the Sikh faith, they can do it before Mr. a pedophile going to the Akal Takht and declaring himself as the Guru. Not after he's humiliated the entire Sikh Panth by going to Akal Takht as a Guru. They are in control of the SGPC. Don't get mixed up. Akhand Kirtani Jatha is leading. They have the entire financial support of the SGPC, the manpower to preach Sikh faith. What they do with it is in front of you. So this so-called opposition, so they're gonna play both sides of the coin. They're gonna design their front runners, these Maans, these fat preachers, and these obese Tumas and these Taksal and all of this nonsense, which are gonna be pro, or we should bring them into the fold. And then we're gonna have this made-up opposition, which is not real. And now the issue is, this has a potential of getting out of hand, because they might be able, the families, the Badal families, these Majitias and all, might be able to buy the so-called self-proclaimed leaders of the Sikh Panth, but they can't buy the Sikh people. Now to control that, to divert that, and as we are seeing, they will use Rajwana, as they are already being using to diffuse this story within the media. They put up these false flag ideas, and again the patsy was right in the middle of it. Maan saying Rajwana is going to be hanged. He's been moved to Delhi, this, that, the other, yada yada yada. And then Rajwana confirmed that Maan and these obese preachers were lying. And the Tumas. So what we need to realize, these so-called families who are in control, their houses is made out of glass, because there is only few of them, very few of them. At maximum, the entire families who are in control of Punjab would come up to maybe 30-40 people. These 30-40 people can only control you through an illusion. If you wake up from this illusion, they can't control you. So what we have to do is wake up from this nonsense illusion. And firstly, we need to stop being their little slave vegetables and follow what they tell us. We need to follow Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak's main idea was for somebody to become Sikh, he must become self-sufficient instead of relying on a tyranny. Now, it is a tyranny in Punjab. Let's not make too ways about it. What is happening with the Radhaswami is a fully blown conversion of Sikhism. Not just Sikhs, but the entire Panth to Hinduism. They have killed, murdered, raped, attacked the Akal Takht, burned down the Harmandir Sahib, burned down, Guru Granth Sahib, raped a woman in masses. They have killed as many. They have looted, plundered. After doing all that, they have come through to the Akal Takht. After their minions raped, murdered, looted the entire Sikh Panth, they have sent in their minions for the final takeover. That's what this is. This is a complete conversion of Sikhs to Hinduism. These so-called, we need to wake up to this nonsense which we are facing. The entire thing is a charade, and it will only succeed if we close our eyes and buy what they are selling us. The day we stop buying their nonsense, they can't control us. The concept of Sikhism, as I said it before, is about a self-sufficient, independent person. They want to take a self-sufficient person who's armed and informed, politically, militaristically, to a vegetable who goes in a dark corner within a cult and bends over and gets sexually abused and not tell anybody what kind of naam he received within the Radhaswami Dera. And this whole story carries on. And then they turn you sterile, and your wife bears the children of the Dera preachers and Dera heads, and this nonsense. So what we have to realize is we have to wake people up from this nonsense and join the truth. The only way to fight these people is stop listening to their nonsense and wake up to the truth, because there is only a few of them and they have no credibility if we choose not to listen to them. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.